Hello and welcome to At the Heart of Health with Dr. James Marcum. In today's well-marketed world, it's hard to know who or even what to believe when it comes to health care. In each program, Dr. Marcum, a board-certified behavioral cardiologist, takes a balanced approach using common sense modern medicine and the ultimate source of truth, the Bible, recognizing that at the heart of health is love.
Did you know, friend, that you can be a healer today? You might ask, how can I heal anybody? I don't know anything about medicine. I'm not a doctor. Well, just if you can make someone laugh. When you make someone laugh and feel good, they release endorphins. Another very powerful way you can heal is to love somebody. There's many ways to heal. In fact, modern medicine heals. We're also going to talk today about naturopathic medicine. Myrna Peterson, we're glad you're here to talk to us about naturopathic medicine. First of all, what is naturopathic medicine and how did you become interested in this field of healing?
Well, naturopathic medicine it's an alternative. It's more in line with foods that heal or herbs that heal, opposed to the traditional medicines used. Mainly it's good nutrition. And I got into it because the medical community about 9 years ago told me there was nothing more they could do for me. Being a juvenile diabetic, the disease was just deteriorating. And I prayed, and I had this unusual desire to go to a health food store. And I was thinking, rabbit food, you know, you just don't think about the whole concept of it. And they told me that I met this wonderful lady, and she told me about eating raw fruits and vegetables, eating whole grains, you know, getting the chemicals out of the food, out of the diet, vegetable juices. And we decided, my husband and I, to do that, and my health changed dramatically.
So you saw improvement in all these parameters of health?
Yes, it took a little while. It took about 6 weeks, and we went through some detox where you get some of the garbage out of your body, but it was dramatic. It was very, very good.
You know, it only makes sense to me that as we get back to the way God designed us, we would only be improved. And all the substances that we put in our food, this polysorbic and color number 1, color number 2, this can't be good for us.
Exactly.
You know, if I was an evil one that wanted to destroy the earth, what I would do is I would make stuff that tasted good, that we want to have a lot of, that was easy to get a hold of to, that would subtly kill us, subtly change our chemistry and damage us, moving us away the way God wanted us, so so the evil one could sort of have their way with us.
And that's true. They even put addictive properties into foods that makes you want that specific food more.
Wow.
It's amazing.
You know what's so hard about this topic is naturopathic medicine. You know, around the 1900s, doctors of naturopathic medicine were very common in the United States.
Yes.
And then about the 40s and 50s, when they started getting traditional medicine with traditional drugs, then all of a sudden it got sort of pushed aside, and now we're almost coming full circle because I think people want to know more about this field, how we can be healthy naturally, how we can get away from these chemicals. There is a place for modern medicine, but there's also a very good place for natural medicine, or the medicine that's out there that has been around for years.
Absolutely. And
you found it out personally.
Right. Most of the drugs that we're using, a lot of them, came from the plants, came from what people used back in the early 1900s, 1800s, when they didn't have the traditional medicines.
Now, did you have to go and take classes and learning about all this, or did this just something you learned on your own?
No, I went to a college, went to the College of Natural Health, and our study was mainly in what food does to the body, how important different aspects of food are, how they affect the chemistry of our body, and help different types of diseases to improve people's health.
You know, and that's at the heart of health. You know, what we try to get through is everything changes the chemistry. the way you
Absolutely.
think, the way you laugh, whether you're unhappy. You know, if unhappy is bad for your chemistry. No love in the life is bad for the chemistry. The foods we eat, the things we hear, all of it affects it.
All of it.
We've collected questions from all over about
Okay.
natural medicine. We're going to try to answer some of these today. And the first one comes from Wisconsin, and it says, I recently had food poisoning and really did not know what to do. Would you have any recommendations of natural things that I could do to help if I get food poisoning again?
Well, food poisoning is very common, especially with the fast foods and the things not being regulated very well, the way foods are handled. So it's very common to get the stomach distress and the intestinal distress. Activated charcoal. The emergency rooms use them for drug overdoses. They use it for food poisoning. They use it quite frequently. And I would definitely recommend that for any type of food poisoning or intestinal bug that is going, through your body.
Well, let me ask you some specifics. The other day,
Okay.
I ate some Chinese food at a buffet. And that wasn't the smartest thing to do because some of that food probably been out for a while. Now, I didn't get food poisoning because my stomach's pretty strong. But if I did, and I started vomiting and throwing up and having diarrhea, I wanted some charcoal. First of all, where could I get it and how much should I take?
Okay, it's activated charcoal. You can get it at any health food store. And for an adult, you would take, if you got the tablet form, you would chew 5 tablets. You can do that every couple of hours until the symptoms subside. Or you can get the powdered form, which you just stir in water. It's pretty much tasteless. I've used both, and they work wonderfully. My husband even took a bottle to work when guys were going home because of intestinal distress, and he was passing them out. And the guys didn't go home because it absorbed the toxins and they were eliminated naturally through a normal stool.
Now, how about water? You know, we talk a lot about water as treatment for disease. Would you consider water as a naturopathic treatment?
Very important, because I don't know the percentage, maybe you do, of how many people are dehydrated. It's well over half of our society right now is dehydrated due to lack of water.
You know, I'm glad to see now we have some choices in the machines now. At least we can buy some water.
Exactly.
So how about water as far as food poisoning? Is that a good idea or a bad idea?
Absolutely. You need to drink plenty of fluids with any type of food poisoning. Of course, if you're vomiting or things like that, you may not want to drink. But as soon as you can, you want to drink as much as you can within reason to help flush the poisons out.
So charcoal sort of absorbs poisons and toxins. Can it be used anywhere else, or is it just in the GI tract?
No, you can use it as what we call a poultice, which is a form of, well, a poultice. You put it on wounds,
So
or
like
you
a
put it
paste?
on, like a paste.
Okay.
Good. You put it on a bug bite, you put it on an infection, and you mix it up, equal parts of the powdered charcoal, along with kind of a pasty substance. Like, you can use flaxseed in water, ground flaxseed in water. You can also use psyllium husk in water because it creates like a goo.
Okay.
And you put it on the affected area, and you cover it to keep it moist, and it actually draws out the poison.
Wow, that's a good. So I hope that answers the question about what to do if you had food poisoning, because you get that fairly often. Here's another good question. Well, not while we're on the digestive process, here's one about digestion. This person asked a question. This person eats his biggest meal at 8 or 9 o'clock every night, lays down, and feels like his food's not moving through. Any suggestions on ways that this person can improve their digestion?
My first thought would be not to eat so late at night,
Okay.
and maybe not to eat such a big meal late at night. I would recommend never eating past 6 p.m. and eating smaller amounts, especially in this specific person's case. If you have indigestion or slow digestion throughout the day, I would recommend gentian, which is an herb. You can get it in a liquid form where you put the drops under your tongue or in water and get it alcohol-free. Drinking some peppermint tea after a meal helps to digest food, or even just a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar.
Wow. You know, what I've seen in digestion is a lot of people, one of the things that this fellow does is you work your diet, you know, if you work any part too much, it doesn't work well.
Right.
You know, and just think about it. You're digesting food all day long, you never get a rest, and all this toxin builds up with you. Is there anything that we can do to help toxins move out of our body? I mean, we talked about charcoal for poisonings, but you know, all this preservatives that we get, is there anything that we can do naturally to help that move along? I know that we've talked about eating roughage or anything else that might help our digestion speed up.
Well, high fiber, of course, is good. Also, fasting once in a while. Just going on a liquid fast, depending on, you know, what you're dealing with. If you're a normal, healthy person, you can go on a water fast for a day. That helps to clear out toxins, helps to give your body a break. You actually feel very good afterwards.
Yeah.
Lots of water. Water helps to cleanse the system, cleanse the kidneys, and it's very, very good.
You know, all the chemical reactions in the body depend on water.
Absolutely.
A lot of people don't realize that almost 70% of our body is water. So it's a very, very important cleanser. Well, I hope that answers. So this fellow, we want to try not to eat the big meals at night, smaller meals, and maybe if there's other problems, this Gentian 28 drops before the meal. How about peppermint tea? I've heard of that. Is that very helpful?
Peppermint tea is absolutely helpful.
Okay, peppermint tea is another one.
Just sip nice warm tea after a meal.
Now, a lot of this stuff, a lot of these treatments, do they have science behind them, back them up, or is it just anecdotal experience?
A lot of them do have scientific data behind them. They have some, you know, double blind-sided placebo studies. I think peppermint has just been around forever.
And I think we're getting more and more as time goes on.
Exactly.
Well, we're coming up to our first break here, and we're glad you're here watching and learning about integrative medicine, especially about naturopathic medicine. If you might have a question, you can look us up at the website, heartwiseministries.org, or send us a card at P.O. Box 8, Ottawa, Tennessee 37363. We'll be back right after this short break.